Hello!
And welcome back. We've been here for a couple weeks now.
And most of the work on the boat is done, so the bottom job is complete and the boat is looking amazing. Also, the standing rigging has been replaced. For this week's video, come along with us as we do a few of the small jobs that we can do ourselves on the boat while we wait for all the big stuff to be finished. Quick pit stop at the boat to take off the propeller and bring it back to the hotel with us so that Calvin can sand it and put some anti-fouling paint on it. This is our giant boat.
With a beautiful folding propeller.
Wow, what a dream.
Blades are off.
Nice.
After hours and hours of sanding and polishing, the propeller, blades, and bell housing were finally ready to be reinstalled so that I could apply the Prop Glide anti-fouling solution to them. Alright, so next up we have the Prop Glide treatment of the propeller. First step is clean all the old grease off the prop drive and then re-grease it and then put on the propeller. This time I was smart and I'm wearing rubber gloves. Okay, that looks clean. Alright, I call that good and greased. And this gets put in. Next up, it's a little bolt that goes in. Before we put this guy on, I need to put some thread locker onto this little guy. I can't even begin to tell you how many times I've bonked my head on the underside of this boat. Why don't they make these stands taller, you know what I'm saying? All they had at the hardware store was thread locker blue, which is medium strength, but even medium strength is better than no thread locker. So that's what we got, and that's what we're using. So the next step is to put the blades back on the propeller. Now, I don't know if it comes up on the camera, but there's actually 1, 2, 3, and they need to go on in that order. So we start with 1, and then we go around to 2, and then 3. The real question, is it clockwise or counterclockwise? Let's start with clockwise. Looks like it was clockwise. Look at that beautiful action. Just using this isopropyl. Clean it up. Get any little bits of dust from when I sanded this thing up. I'm going to clean the sail drive too, because I'm going to apply the Prop Glide to the sail drive. Next step, mix up the primer. This is the product I'm using. It's called Prop Glide, and it's made up for, I got the sailboat size, so it's not very much. This is 60 mils, and it's a 2-part primer. So I gotta mix up the primer in this little can, and then I add a hardener to it. And then after 30 seconds of mixing, I can apply it directly to the prop. There's some hardened sediment at the bottom that you're just supposed to like mix up. So we're just mixing, agitating, and then once it's thoroughly mixed, I then add the hardener. All right, I just added the little bottle of hardener, and it says stir for 30 seconds. So counter starting. 30 seconds and apply immediately. It says you want a relatively thin coating, but I'm going to apply a second coat as per the instructions. Wow, this stuff cures fast. Battery died there, I'm not sure where, but I got the first coat done. Ready for the second coat now. And hopefully there's enough left at the end of the second coat that I can do the sail drive as well, this part. That's the whole can of primer, and I call this thing primed. This is the top coat. Wow, that goes on well. Look at that. Prop Glide applied. Gotta say, wasn't expecting it to be so yellow, but I don't hate it.
All right, well, Calvin and Luna just left, and I've got everything I need in the cabin with me. The hatches are all open. I've got one battery operated fan with me because there's no electricity on the boat right now, so I can't run the fans that are built in. And it's hot, but it's okay. So I'm gonna get started. Time is 9:45, and I would love to be done by 2. I'm done all the wood in here, and the bilge under the bed, and all the fiberglass stuff with some disinfectant. Funny that I thought I would be done in 4 hours. Now 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I think Calvin and Luna are coming to pick me up shortly. I've done the galley, I've done our cabin, I've done Luna's cabin. I'm just finishing up the salon right now because over the next couple of days, I believe that the lady who is cleaning our cushions will be bringing them back, and we want to make sure that all those spaces are ready to receive the cushions so that then we can move in thereafter. That was a huge day of cleaning. I think I'm halfway done. I need another 1 day to do the other 2 cabins, the 2 bathrooms, and that's it really. And then it will be in move-in ready condition, which is exciting.
Well, I'm off to the boat to try and fix the breaker panel because if we want to launch the boat, we need the panel to work. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to try and wire up the starter battery. That was not super complicated. Battery has been installed, and now we are on to the breaker panel to see if I can get this thing to light up. So I'm going to start by pulling all the fuses, see if there's any blown fuses. Don't really know how to tell if one of these is blown. So I guess I just hope it isn't. at least on these little flat ones, you can tell either that's solid or you can see it's burnt through. So that's an easy fix. That's just replace the fuse. Oh, and here we've got a different kind of fuse. But this one's fine as well. Okay, so it's not a fuse. That's annoying. Well, that's every button. I don't know if you can see, but I have power here. So I don't know, maybe the USB-C chargers are bypassing the panel somehow? Because there's definitely power coming here. All right, I think I found a workaround for our electrical panel problems. So it looks like we're not getting any power here at this panel. I tried pulling every wire, I tried pulling every fuse. I'm not getting any power there. So here, down here, I have my whole beautiful wiring bus bar situation. And now the strange thing that I've noticed is that we have power at the USB ports. And I traced the wires back all the way through this spider web up to these two bus bars. They have power, which means that this battery is the first in a series of wired batteries. So I'm off to the boat again this morning. After speaking with the previous owner of the boat, he told me that there's something I can do to try and sort out the electrical issues that we're experiencing. So I'm gonna try and do that, and hopefully it works. All right, we have great news. So I just reconnected the starter battery and all of the terminals that lead to the bus bar. I'll show you down here. Here's the new starter battery we purchased. They're now all attached. My Victron app says everything's online now. And for the first time, we have action here. I don't know if you can see this. The glare is kind of strong, but it shows battery, starter battery. We're all out of water right now. You can select your language. And I tested the navigation system, which runs. I tested the radio, it runs. I tested the windlass, and it runs. I also tested the cabin lights, they work. I tested the 12 volt outlet, it works. Tested the VHF and it works. The only thing I haven't gotten yet is this outlet, the outlet in the kitchen, or the outlets in the two heads. But I think we've made great progress for now, and I'm going to send another message to the previous owner of the boat and ask him, how do you enable electricity to the outlets? Well, that's all we have time for this week, but stick around because next week we will go on a field trip, we will install the rudder, and finally inflate our dinghy and see if it even holds air. Thanks for watching.